The Swordbearer Saga, Part 2, Toward a Southern Shore, an original screenplay by Tim Morell. Later, Ravenwolf is asleep beneath the fur skin that covers the bed. Elan lies awake next to him. She traces his lips with her fingers and kisses him softly, then gets up, wraps herself in the blanket from the stable. She goes to the fire, stirs the embers to life with the fire iron, and puts another log in. It catches quickly. She checks their clothes, which are hung on a length of yarn strung by the fireplace, then sits down by the fire. She surveys the room and is drawn to the open chest. Beneath the top layer of clothes, she finds the remnants of a roll of blue cloth. Beside the roll are two fabric dolls with flaxen hair. One dressed as a boy, the other as a girl, each with garments made from the same blue cloth. Elan lifts the dolls out of the chest. She examines them closely before laying them down and shutting the chest. She gets her sword belt, opens the black pouch tied there, and takes out the locks of red and black hair. She cuts off a length of yarn from the ball, then sits down by the fire and begins to braid the 3 strands together. Later, Ravenwolf wearily opens his eyes. He sees Elan by the fire. The rain can still be heard.
Is it morning?
No, not for a while yet.
She gets into bed, shows him the braided bracelet.
So I will remember.
Is that what all the bracelets are? Memories?
Yes.
She touches an intricately engraved silver bracelet.
This one belonged to my mother.
Was she like you?
I never knew her. She died giving birth to me. My father was the chief of our clan, and he always told me her death was our God's way of punishing her for not giving him a son. I tried so hard to please him. I learned to fight and ride almost as soon as I learned to walk. But it was never enough. Now that he is dead, I find I am not sorry for it.
Ravenwolf takes a moment to consider what he's heard.
Before, you said he rode with the outlaws, not that he was their leader.
I imagine there are merchants out there who would still pay good money to anyone who could bring them the daughter of Uragar Shah. At the time, it seemed best to keep it to myself.
And now?
And now you know.
They seem content to leave it at that. Elan touches a crudely carved wooden bracelet.
This was given to me by the first boy I slept with. Ulf.
Ulf?
I was 15 and he was 17. He died in a raid a few months later.
She touches an unadorned gold bracelet.
This was from my first raid. I was 12. It seems a long time ago. All I can remember is how scared I was.
She touches a leather cord that is strung with small wooden cubes and silver balls.
I got this off the body of the first man I killed. I was 14.
How did that make you feel?
I don't know. Better him than me. Towards the end, the traders and caravans we had been raiding hired mercenaries to hunt us down. So my father moved our camp into the foothills, near the mountains. One night I couldn't sleep, so I left my tent. There was an aurora that seemed to fill up the whole sky. The trees were wet with dew, and the way the light shone through made it look as though the leaves were all covered in jewels. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. So I gathered some twigs that were still green and made this.
She touches a bracelet of interwoven twigs tied together by long strands of grass.
The next raid we went on was a trap the mercenaries had set for us. Everyone was killed, and I ended up being captured by the wolf witch, Mara, And that's where you found me.
Do you have a bracelet for that?
No, I don't need one. Because you will always be here to remind me.
I never knew my mother either, or my father. They were both killed not long after I was born.
Then we will, at least, have that much in common.
At least.
She nestles closer to him.